Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we are here in Vegas today, Horse, can you tell them what's the biggest fight of the past decade?
Man, Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford.
Man, and let me tell you something. These boxers are legacy boxers. These are people who have put in the grind for years, who have earned their opportunity to be on this big stage over and over again. To me, they uphold the integrity that you find in boxing, and the sweet science of boxing that attract people like me who are just couch watchers, who just like to watch boxing on the couch. And I've watched it from the 70s. I like to often brag about being there and watching some of the biggest fights that ever taken place in history as a young man. I got a chance to see Muhammad Ali on TV, Sugar Ray Leonard on TV, Hagler and Hearns on TV. I got a chance to see all of these things as a kid. And so becoming an adult and having these platforms and teaming up with my brother Horace, we were able to start the one and only Bridge Business. There are two individuals, though, that really captured our eye early on, back in, I want to say, 2019, that I really enjoyed watching their conversation about boxing. And to me, they were people who were eager, man. They always been hungry to get the information out. I knew that their passion for the sport ran deeper than just seeing people punch each other. They wanted to see those people who jumped in the ring be taken care of, wanted to make sure they had health benefits, wanted to make sure they could retire properly, wanted to make sure they translated what boxing is all about to a mass public. And to me, I haven't seen anybody who's done it quite like they have. And when you look around now, you see everybody talking about boxing.
Yes.
Right? You see 1,000 podcasters just talking about boxing. Well, if you ask me, it was these two who were in the front lines early on in this new digital space that really pioneered and helped be vanguards in talking about boxing in digital spaces. I want to welcome them back to the show, the one and only Ak and Barak. Ring champs. Ring champs are in the building.
He gave us the pre-intro early before the break. And now another intro. Man, we can never live up to.
Radio Hall of Famer. That's what it is, yo. He's a Hall of Famer.
I'll take that. I don't know how he does it. Those intros are legendary. You're famous for your intros.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay. And a few other things.
Everybody knows that.
Thank you, Ak. I appreciate that, man. That's it, Sway. Just the intros.
No, I wasn't saying that.
Hey, but you know, I like in it. You could make parallels to how we talk about hip hop. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a culture that has impacted all of our lives and afford us to be able to do the things that we love,
Right.
and to make a livelihood off of it, and then to create energy for other people to do the exact same thing. That's how everybody in this room is together.
Right.
It was because of hip hop. We didn't know each other when we all got into hip hop.
Right.
I didn't know Horace. Horace didn't know Heather. Heather didn't know me. We didn't know Tracy. We still don't know Tracy. You know what I mean?
I like to keep it that way.
His first
An enigma.
you know, but that's how I like it, what you all are doing for boxing, right? The parallel to what we do for hip hop. Why, to this day, are you so passionate about talking about? I watch your interviews from yesterday, and I'm like, this dude is still talking about boxing like nobody knows what it is.
I just love, first off, thank you. And I fought 75 amateur fights. I was involved in the sport since 5 years old, right? But this is the only sport where if you, let's say in basketball, right? NBA, NFL, these sports, you have to be elite at every single level to maybe a long shot to get drafted to be a professional player, right? Boxing is different. Like one fight, one punch can change your life, if you're in the right position. I love the stories, but the only problem is that, boxing is not appreciated the way it should be, right? And fight fans, they want you to go in there and kill yourself. They don't care about what happens after, when the sport is all done, when nobody's coming to watch your fights. Nobody's helping with your health, benefits. And so I want the fans to appreciate these fighters risking their lives every time in the square circle. So that's what brings me to passion. And also, it's the greatest sport in the world, man. None like it.
What about you, Barak?
Oh, that's it? You just gonna say that? He said that amazing. After he said that amazing speech.
I know, right? What do you hope to like? What is it that boxing need from a commentating position? That the void that you hope that you all are filling.
That's a great question. First of all, I feel like you talked about hip hop earlier, and I think hip hop is the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my memories are like, okay, what song was out back then? 1992. Yeah, it was Mary J. Blige and that was. Yeah, that's how I remember things. You know, but boxing is big probably because everybody can relate to a fight. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody can relate to being in a fight. Whether you've been in a fight or not, you wanted to punch somebody in the face. Yeah. You're sick of your boss. You're sick of somebody. So everybody, every sport, every athlete, everybody, every artist can relate to a fight. It's a fight for you to get to where you at.
Yeah.
And to stay where you're at.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like us being in boxing, the way that we can contribute is give the fighters a platform to show their personality, show who they are, so that since they call boxing a dying sport, you fall in love with the fighter. You fall in love with the personality. Floyd Mayweather became famous because of 24/7.
Yeah.
Because you got to see that Money Mayweather mentality, that charisma. He was chilling with 50 Cent. They riding through his mansion. Mm-hmm. You got to see that. And when you provide platforms to show personality, people want to see you do whatever you do.
That's right.
Yeah. This is the era where everybody's famous doing whatever. Eating a sandwich, people want to see you do it.
I've seen that happen.
And there's a small percentage of fighters that really make money, like a very, very small. You know, people have this perception that, you know, if you're a professional boxer, you're doing really well. And 99% of fighters don't do well. You know, 99. They still have to have,
is that a real, I mean.
No.
I'm like, damn.
It's probably close.
If you had to guess.
It's in the 90s.
Okay.
In my opinion, at least 95%. No, 90. You know how many boxers there are? Professional boxers exist? Thousands and thousands. You know how many make a living from it where they don't have to do anything else? Very small percentage.
Okay.
Wow.
Most boxers, professional boxers, most of them have to have other jobs because boxing, you know, can't maintain their lifestyle, like even paying the bills.
Yeah.
It's a thankless sport.
It's a thankless sport. Horace, you want to jump in?
That's what I love about these guys right here, because they give you about the business behind the sport. You see how he said 95% of these guys ain't even making no money like that to survive. So just the fact that everybody think that you see Mayweather, Tyson at Tigers running around in his yard and stuff like that. But you ain't never see a fighter like that since Tyson. You know what I mean? So just the fact that they giving us the behind the curtain scene about what's going on, that's what I love about messing with Ak Barak.
Ak Barak, man. Ak is spelled A-K. Barak is B-A-R-A-K.
Yeah, stop calling me AK, people.
Yeah, I know. I did that one time, and he challenged me to a bro. You know,
Because of that. Since you did that, people started calling me AK.
that was my fault.
Always.
Damn.
But that's how I know when they lie and they say they watch the show. I'm like, you know what? I start the show off. It's your boy Ak. So I know people be lying about
They
watching
be lying,
the show.
right? Let's talk about your journey, and then I want to get into this weekend's festivities with Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. What did it take for you guys to get to the point you are now? If you could just kind of run it up the timeline. When we met you, I feel like you were working with Sirius XM, right?
Yep.
And that y'all were working on behalf of DAZN, the DAZN network.
Yes.
Well, no, when we first met, we weren't on DAZN yet. In 2015 was when we first got the opportunity to host a show on Sirius XM for 1 day a week, which is on Tuesdays, right? And the journey, I mean, it's a long journey, but just to try to summarize it and Barak add to it, you know, I was a fighter at heart, right? I love boxing. I got a chance to, a friend of mine had an internet radio station in Jersey. He said, we want to host a show like for a hobby. I wasn't getting paid. There wasn't any, there wasn't money involved, but I started talking about sports, boxing. And then Zab Judah had a fight in Jersey. I had him on the show and I sold it like it was a big, successful internet radio show. It was about 5 people listening, but he came on the show anyway. Zab's my guy. And then from there, we was grinding with worldstarhiphop.com. Telling, and I'm going to put it out there, we were telling boxing promotional companies when we fill out a media credential that I worked for WorldStarHipHop.com because they were doing so well.
They were huge.
They would give you a media credential, but we weren't working for them. All we did was record videos and send it to them, hoping they would post it, right? So it could legitimize us saying we worked for them. And it didn't for a while, but one time we did an interview with Paulie and they put it on World Star. It did numbers, it went viral, and then it seemed like we really did work for them. But we actually, I'm letting it know that we did not work for World Star.
That's what you had to do.
But that's how we had to do to get access to going to the fight. We would come to Vegas on our own dime. Wow. For 5 years, we spent our own money to go to fights, to pay hotel rooms, just to be in the mix. I mean, my son's mother and I, we together at the time, she would say, like, bro, I mean, this is a hobby. You're spending money. We're not making any money. Like, what are you doing? The vision was there. It's hard. You know, it was hard, but it took a long time. But 2015 was when it all started.
That music means wrap that up. Bro.
No.
It was a good story.
Hey, listen, I gave him a 10-year story in like 2 minutes.
You have me locked in.
And Paulie Malignaggi, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know, folks may not know who that is, right? And so y'all lied to get into media events, right?
That's what you got from that
You want to know the
Sway?
truth? I just found out that he was lying last year. I'm not lying. I thought we really were. He lied to me too.
Yeah, I had to lie.
He's so
He's
serious.
such an honest person. I couldn't tell him. I had to lie to him. We wouldn't be here today.
I thought we was.
And then we met. I remember going to Gleason's.
Yep, Gleason's gym.
Barak.
Yes.
And Sean Porter was training for a fight. I'm not sure who he had coming up next.
It might have been Birdo, I think.
It could have been. It could have been Andre Berto. That was an amazing fight. Stop Berto.
Okay.
First person to really stop Berto. Yeah, that was crazy. We met in Gleason's gym.
That's right. And then where were you at this stage when we met at Gleason? Because I want people to hear how many platforms y'all had to jump to land with all the smoke.
And after you express yourself, I'm going to tell you how we ended up at SiriusXM, which is a very interesting story, and it's going to teach people to not listen to other people. But go ahead.
At that time, our show got canceled on SiriusXM. You know, they wanted more MMA. You know, but they said, you know what? We want to cancel the show, but we want to keep you guys as hosts. So whenever we need you, we want to use you. So that gave us the SiriusXM brand still. So we would go to these fights, be everywhere. And then eventually a friend of mine from Brooklyn knew 50 Cent. And he was like, listen, 50 Cent, they need something on thisis50.com. I want to bring you up there. I said, well, you know, I'm doing something with Ak. This is, you know, we started something. We got a buzz, but we don't have anything at the moment. We had a meeting with 50 Cent, good brother to this day. I don't care what anybody say. He was good to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was good to us, and he's very knowledgeable about boxing. He's just a wise individual anyway, and he gave us a shot, and it just blew up.
Yeah, I mean,
show blew up. We had Showtime, HBO sending us fighters, everybody. It was amazing. So that's where we were at that time when I met you.
Okay.
And shout out to everybody at G Unit, like Renee, Mario. Everybody over there showed us love. I mean, we had a 4-hour conversation about boxing the first time we met him, and he said, yo, you guys should start tomorrow, this show. And that's where the Sweet Scientist started at This Is 50. But when we first, in 2015, I'll never forget this, we were at the Barclays Center. With a credential we probably lied to get, right? But
He lied.
we were in the back where media, they sell, I mean, they give people food, water. So I see a guy with a media credential that says SiriusXM, right? Combat Sports Channel. I don't remember what, it was Rush 93 at the time or something like that.
93.
So I asked a guy that I knew who was a friend of mine who had spent time at SiriusXM, right? So I said, hey, who's that? He says, oh, he's like program director for the Combat Sports Channel. I said, yo, I want to introduce myself, let him know what Barak and I are doing. This is what he tells me. They kind of stuck in their ways. They have two hosts that are a little older. You know, they don't want anything innovative. Your energy is too young. It's too much of the culture. Don't waste your time. So I went back and sat in my seat, watching the fights, and I had an epiphany. I said, man, F what this dude is talking about. I'm about to walk back to the media room. Luckily enough, he was the only one there about to head back to his seat.
Wow.
And I said, hey, my name is Ak. he says, my name is Ricky Bonet. I said, I see you working for Sirius. I said, do you have a minute, right? He said, sure. So Barak and I had recorded a little segment of this little internet radio show we were doing. So I had something on my phone to show people.
No, we made it look like it was a show. We was up all night, me and the editor, trying to piece this together.
Right.
It looked like we really had a show that was on Hulu.
But I had something to show him. And as soon as I showed him, he spent a minute and he was like, yo, this is exactly what we were looking for. So had I listened to the gentleman that said, don't waste your time, we literally would not be here today. So the zone wouldn't have happened. This is 50, nothing.
That's crazy.
But I had to go back.
God's plan is God's plan.
Right,
But
for
he
sure,
was
for
probably
sure.
telling the truth, but that was his story. That was his experience. He tried to get on, and they said, you're too young, you're too this, you're too that. Then guys the same age came with different swag, and with a different anointing from God. And that's what happened.
Pull up.
Praise
Come
God.
on, man.
Praise
Ak
God.
Barak, praise him. Come
Praise
on,
God.
man. Now you guys are at all premier fight. I don't feel right if I don't see you guys at a fight, right? It don't feel right if I don't see Ak Barak interviewing some of the biggest boxing names that the sport has to offer. But I'll be remiss if we didn't mention Stack and Matt Barnes and how the relationship with the All the Smoke umbrella began.
Well, I'll say this: like when we signed to DAZN in 2018, which is they came with $1 billion to America, and they said, you know, they sold out for us, and they said, whatever you guys are doing at This Is 50, we want y'all to host our flagship show at DAZN. And enough money for us to say 50. Everything was great. Thank you for everything. We got to move on, right? It's life-changing money. And then we started, but we got comfortable, right? Under the pay, behind the paywall. DAZN was traveling the world on live broadcast, hosting a daily show, but we didn't own anything, right? Like if the network decides to go a different direction, then you're back to square one with nothing. So for 5-6 years, we did that. And I think about a year ago, Barak and I was brainstorming. We said, bro, we got to shift here. Like if the zone decides to go in a different direction, we're effed, right? So we said we have to start and not do the daily show with them anymore and bring our show somewhere else. And that's when we started brainstorming. And All the Smoke, Matt and Stack teamed up with Brian Daly, who was an exec at Showtime. And they formed All the Smoke Fight. And Barak and I said, wait, that's the home. It's just the right fit for us. And we had to negotiate for 6 months, but it's a partnership where Ak and Barak have ownership to Ring Champs, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And they're building our platform from scratch. They have an amazing team. And now we own Ring Champs with All the Smoke.
There
Shout out to
Ring
them.
Champs
Shout out
on
to them.
YouTube.
Yeah.
The channel is growing. And shout out to them.
Yeah, man.
You know, All the Smoke that's my favorite organization.
Yeah.
They're pioneers in this
digital
podcast.
space, and the podcast space. But when I say organization, how they've enterprised their brand, All the Smoke.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, they are the coolest dudes
Facts.
in person. I mean, I can't think of what Stack was behind me when we was at the Canelo Charlo fight.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
Yo,
Okay.
what up, Sway? Hey, man, Stack, what up, man? Matt and I was at a Snoop listening once recently.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I'm really excited, inspired, and proud of those guys.
Yep.
But it also has brought you guys even more visibility.
100%. I
Right?
mean, they're real businessmen to the core. And one of the guys, Brian Daly, he was a Showtime guy.
Okay.
You know, so all of the stuff that we used to watch on Showtime, he was behind all of that. And they negotiated somehow to take all of the Showtime intellectual property, I mean, their Instagram, their
Digital platforms.
all of it, the YouTube, everything, over to All the Smoke Productions, because he's the one that built it anyway. And now for us to be a part of that, we used to always say, damn, you know what I'm saying? We built a name in this sport, but if we had a team, I believe we go further. And that team is All the Smoke, because we've been with them 7 months and got 14 million views with a brand new page that we started called Ring Champs.
Ring Champs.
Great.
Almost at 30,000 subscribers, and it's scary because you stay watching the subscribers. Like, when is this going? And then certain interviews with, Ryan Garcia, Terence Crawford, and they started going and
Roy
going.
Jones.
So we still got a long way to go, but according to the experts, YouTube, and the team been saying we're growing at a rapid pace.
You won't stop either.
Man.
Amen.
Yeah. And then what you've done in the past will keep living forward. And so
Yeah. And shout out to Steven Jackson. Stack was one of those guys early on because he loved boxing, so he'll be at all the fights. And he told me a couple of years ago, he said, you know, when Showtime's done with boxing, we're going to start something. I guess they already knew something was happening. Like, we want you and Barak involved. Don't worry about it. So he planted that seed early. And then, you know, Matt Barnes, super smart businessman as well, he wanted us on board. And their whole team is phenomenal, man. I'm happy where we are. Look, DAZN did a lot for us, giving us global visibility.
Yeah.
You know, but at times there was a struggle for us to create what we wanted to create.
I don't think I mean, they did a lot for you, but I think in the end, it didn't feel like to the onlooker that they were treating you as you should be treated. They didn't.
Amen.
It didn't feel
I
like
can't say that. I can't. It was a beautiful vehicle. It was a beautiful vehicle to get to where we had to go, and they did a tremendous job. I think at the time they was coming into a market where streaming wasn't. You know, it wasn't accepted really. Like, people want to fight on pay-per-view. Guys like Broner was like, I ain't fighting on no app. You know what I mean? So we had already built a name with 50 in the boxing world, so they needed us to introduce them to the boxing world.
Yeah.
And now they're the biggest platform right now.
Yeah.
With DAZN, DAZN is great.
He's
man.
still not hearing
that. Listen, we still do stuff for we still do stuff for DAZN though, like Overtime Boxing
I love you guys.
on DAZN. Shout out to
just saying
Overtime.
to the onlooker, because I saw the change. Yo, look, we used to have that, you know, DAZN come on our show when nobody knew what DAZN was.
Yes.
Wow.
When it was launching.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And you know, I've had really nasty experiences
Wow.
since. And I think they might have forgot.
they forgot.
I think they might have forgot. So God bless what they've done for you or what you've done for them.
Right.
Right.
Thank you.
But you can't be nasty in the end. I won't get into details. But what was the owner's name?
You know what? You gonna make Horse say it? Shut up,
Make
Horse.
Horse say it. I'm just saying, he was nasty. I was
"Shut up,
making
Horse."
him say it. You know, but
Remind me, Horse.
I think I like what they did for. I'm not as a platform cool, but I had some nasty experiences with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then I used to call y'all and ask you how come y'all not doing certain things.
Right.
I ain't making this into a negative. It was a
No.
positive.
I get that. And can I, if you don't mind, I want to shout Charlemagne too, who speaks highly of you. Was one of those that also had us on his platform and always talked about DAZN needing us and what we did for them. But a lot of those guys are Brits. They're British. They don't really understand the culture here, you know. So I don't completely fault them. But they did, I guess, help launch.
You know what it is? So I remember what Sway is talking about. And I remember seeing DAZN. And Sway was like, yo, we're going to bring some guy. And we couldn't even pronounce the name. Like, Tracy and I, we was like, what is this? DAZN? Like,
DAZN, people calling it.
What is this? And Sway invited them all. Let's come on, man. We're going to get the shot. They starting this boxing thing. And I watched it grow. Like, I watched you guys. I watched the company grow. And then when it's time to do certain things, and Sway and Horse in particular go back and say, hey, you know, this has happened and that's going on. And you treat people as if I got what I needed from you already. Let it go to the side. That stays with you. The same way somebody can do something kind for you, like you guys said, I'll never forget that, is the same way you could do something very nasty and people never forget it. So Sway, I witnessed what he's talking about without mentioning names, and so that's his experience. You the same way you spoke about someone telling you that's not what they're looking for, and Barak said, well, that was that. That's Sway and Horse's experience with that, and so. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But, you know, I definitely understand that. I just feel like, and I have my moments of negative interactions with a whole bunch of platforms and people, whatever. But I kind of feel like those are blessings as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you never hear me talk bad about anybody or anything.
Yeah.
No, it ain't about y'all. Let me say that. I love what they provided. Y'all symbiotic, mutually beneficial relationship.
Google that real quick.
But I like what she said. They get what they want out of you, and then
I don't want nothing from them. It ain't even a personal thing.
Yeah.
I've been in this business longer than DAZN.
But you got to think about this.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Think about this, homie. We got into British boxing because of Ak Barak.
Yeah.
I don't know none of the fighters over there at all.
Yeah.
And I used to text Ak Barak all the time, like, yo, I really don't know these guys right here. Like, give me some insight on these type of guys. So watching these guys, and especially like in the ring and after the ring, after the fight, talk to these people, gave me an insight of some of the British fighters, and that's what brought me to the zone. Actually looking at the fight. Yeah,
he said Barak is a great dude, and he always finds a positive and stuff. But the reality is that when we joined the zone, the team that was excited about us, that entire regime is no longer there.
Yeah.
It's no longer there. It's a whole new. No. I'm saying I'm not throwing any shots at nobody. I'm saying they were the squad that the zone launched with in America. F with us heavy, and we had support, and then people started to get fired and leave, and then next thing you know, you look up, it's a whole new squad that don't F with us the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's still a couple there that respect us. And look, shout out to Turkey Al Sheik and the Crown Prince and all that for breathing life into the sport, right?
Yeah.
And they're in bed with the zone and have done a lot. That's why we get in this fight,
Okay,
right?
let me say this just for clarity. I believe what DAZN has done for boxing is excellent as a company. Mm-hmm. If I could go a little deeper, I just saw one of the executives treat some women
Oh, snap.
very badly.
Now that's different.
And I was sitting right there, and I'm looking at the person, and they have no idea that I'm the same person that years ago,
helped them.
Whatever, helped or promote. Okay. And it wasn't about me. It was just, who are you as a human being? Were you talking to boxing fans and treating them like this? That's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with y'all relationships. So I don't want you to feel like you have to defend them or what I'm saying.
Right.
I saw some shit so nasty, Ak.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, that it was like.
Well, we'll talk off there. I want to know who that was.
I'll tell you, Anyway, but God, salute to y'all though. Let's
Big facts.
Let's pivot. All right. We got a lot of people on the phone line. We just talking. Frequency Friday. Let's go to line 3. We got Chew on the line from Louisiana. Chew, what up?
Chew, I got you.
Oh, family, what up?
What up?
What's going on, bro?
Hey, real quick. Last week on the show, Big Horse made a hot take. He said he thinks the winner of this fight tomorrow, Mayweather's going to come back and fight. If that's the case, either of those.
I know that Mayweather likes to steal the limelight. Like, he just put out something about him and Mike Tyson about the fight. Coincidentally, when we're trying to watch Bud versus Canelo. So I would say no, but that's not far-fetched.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not, but I don't think Mayweather is in shape to fight a real boxer that's great today. You know what I mean? Mayweather has his time and he's TBE, whatever, but nah, he can't do that.
He can't compete.
He can't
at this level.
I don't think he would be able to take either of those guys at this
Hell
point.
no.
Hell no.
Not now. Not now. Not going on 50 years old.
He would get killed.
Yeah, he had his time. He had his time when he was the man.
Okay. Chew, any other questions?
That's it, man. That's all I had.
Appreciate you, bro.
saying he can't survive at all?
Thank you,
Floyd
Chew.
ain't got no
Citizen.
I mean,
It's in the morning.
he won't get into the ring to survive. Like, he won't even put himself in that position, man. But he can't win. He can't beat Canelo. He can't beat Bud at this stage.
He said it himself. He said, I put the work in the game. I have a legacy already. I'm not going to fight real boxers.
Okay.
I'm going to fight other guys. That's why he's fighting everybody else.
Okay, cool. Tracy?
When you initially, Barak, you had mentioned Floyd, and you were talking about how fans fall in love with the fighter and the personality, right? And they want to follow a story, and they're drawn to charisma. For both you and Ak, if you were managing a fighter right now, what would be y'all blueprint for building him or her into a star?
Oh, that's a good question. There's so many. You never know what people are attracted to sometimes. I would tell a fighter, and I tell these young fighters, man, stay humble. Stay humble. That's it. Let your talent speak for itself, and be real with your personality. Don't turn it on. Don't turn on and try to create a new persona or whatever like that. Yeah, Floyd got away with doing that, but Floyd was so super disciplined at what he was doing, he didn't get caught up in that persona. I see guys that try to mimic Floyd and create a persona, and they get lost in it. And then they career kind of downslides, you know what I mean? So don't do that. Be humble, keep your original personality, and let your talent speak for itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing is I would have to make sure that person can really fight right before putting any energy into it, because a lot of people look great in the gym, but when they're tested, true colors come out. So, I agree with Barak. I think you have to stay true to who you are, but you also have to push people that may not have a big personality, at least to be expressive, whether it's on social media. Like, stop saying, oh, I don't like Instagram, I don't do social, I don't talk. So you don't want to be a star. You don't want the world to know you. Like, I get it that fighting does the talking. Like, even Terence, who's the best fighter in the world, isn't braggadocious and outspoken, but if you get to know him, he's funny.
Yeah, heck of funny.
He is... He has a great personality. He's a country boy from Nebraska, loves his kids. But to Brock's point, you have to see that. So Bud's been more expressive lately. And he's been, so you have to express
we're there
yourself.
to bring that out of them. We're not trying to actually be different. We'll bring it out you. Don't worry. We'll give you the platform to bring that out. And even with Bud, if he wasn't blackballed by certain promoters, he would have been big and famous years ago.
Why did he get blackballed?
Because he was dangerous.
What do you mean?
He wasn't popular, so he's a high risk, low reward. You fight him. Yes, he had a strap. He had a championship title at 147, but there were other guys too that had titles.
Talk about who blackballed him.
It was PBC. I believe that PBC.
Al Heyman.
Which is Al Heyman's team. I believe that. You know why? Because they had so many fighters. They had so many fighters that they felt like they didn't need him at the time. They had Errol Spence. They had Ugas. They had Keith Thurman. They had Manny Pacquiao. They had everybody except Terence Crawford. So they was having fun fighting each other, and he was kept on the outside.
And he couldn't get the big fights.
So you don't blame that on...
He waited to... I'm sorry.
A disclaimer.
That's not Bob Arum's fault neither, like far as Top Rank?
No way. I know he took the blame, but it really wasn't. And they was mad at Terence for re-signing with Bob Arum, but if somebody changed your life, you're going to have some kind of loyalty, hopefully.
And this ain't a shot at Al Heyman. Disclaimer, like, Al has done phenomenal things for black fighters. He's put
black and Hispanic
He's changed he's changed their lives. We've been in support of Al Heyman for so many years, but I'm just speaking factual. That's what they did to
It's
Terence
business.
Crawford.
It's business. It's like, if you got all of these fighters, why even include Terence? So to him, I guess it's smart business, but to fans, we like, nah, get him involved. So he had to wait till he was in his mid-30s to get that
Errol
big
Spence
fight. Late 30s,
Late
get that
30s.
big Spence fight.
Two things that Ak just said that stood out. Number one, you said Terence Crawford, who is the greatest fighter, best fighter in the world.
Number one, pound for pound.
Pound for pound. Leads me to believe that you think he could walk away with the win against Canelo Alvarez. Is that true?
So I've been trying for the last 2 months to not make predictions for this fight because we're friends with both fighters. I would say we're closer to Bud for sure. A friend outside of boxing, you know what I mean? I love the guy and his family and all of that. So I'm going to be a little biased because of that. But if I had to take all that away and just speak from a boxing analyst standpoint, I think that Canelo is a phenomenal fighter, and he's very tricky, very smart. He doesn't get enough credit for how skilled he is because people talk about his power. And I think Bud has a tough task ahead of him, but the size difference that everybody is talking about, the weight, is not going to be a significant factor Saturday night. Bud is, in my opinion, is strong, probably just as strong as Canelo, just as big. He just is losing less weight for this fight. He's not eating to go up to 168. He walks around at 180, so he's just losing less weight to meet 168. I think he will shock the world on Saturday night, and I think Terence wins a fight against Canelo Alvarez.
I've never heard Ak say that. That's amazing, man. Thank get that a round of applause, man. Because our opinion is the exact same.
And he's hoping he's hoping Canelo don't hear this.
Yeah.
He's hoping.
Well, what do you think?
Put him on the spot.
Yeah, I understand what Ak is saying, and I agree with him. I just feel like in a fight where you got two generational greats, anything can happen. There was a time when Terence Crawford was like, when we joke, yeah, you going to move up and fight Canelo? He'd be like, hell no, I ain't doing that. But then when the option really became a real thing, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take on that task and I'm gonna do it because he's so competitive and he really believes in himself. But then you got another guy he's already great. He could retire right now, be a Hall of Famer, and that's Canelo. And he has a lot of confidence in himself as well. But he even says in the lead up to the fight, he said, yeah, Terence does a lot of things better than me, but I'm different. And when he get in the ring, he's gonna see that I'm different. Both of these guys are super special. You can argue both. Most people would say Terence is a better boxer.
Yeah.
But Canelo is bigger and used to being in that weight class. So he has an advantage.
He's a favorite still. Still a favorite in this fight.
Absolutely. But Terence is so special, he's only a little bit of favorite.
And he's getting paid. I'm just so happy that Terence Crawford is getting paid.
Yeah.
Real big money for this.
Okay, man.
But Canelo's been getting paid.
Canelo's been getting paid. Horse, you wanted to chime in?
Well, I'm going with Terence Crawford straight up. I know Canelo. We met him. He's friend of the family and stuff like that. But I feel like Bud got a lot to prove. And I think that Canelo I think he's underestimating Bud for being a smaller guy. I don't think that he could, take the power. And I think that it's like Floyd 2.0 with Bud.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
He got the power. Yeah, because Floyd could box, but he didn't have the knockout power that Bud have. I think that Bud could hit you with either hand, left or right. And I think if Bud goes southpaw, I think Canelo gonna have a problem.
Bud is one of the only people probably in boxing that I've noticed that in their late 30s are even better than what they used to be, or just as good, and has never diminished at all.
Good.
Wow.
Not even Muhammad Ali, like nobody.
Yeah, but
all these fighters would get, besides Floyd, but he couldn't knock people out at that age. So even he diminished, but was still great. But Bud is the only one.
But Terence didn't fight as much because he was blackballed one fight a year at one point.
No, I don't even think it's that because, he has 41 fights.
Yeah.
So it's not like he wasn't fighting. It's just he's just special. Genetics are different with certain people. He's clean. He doesn't smoke, just like Floyd. Didn't smoke, didn't drink. Literally, all he does is boxing and family.
Yeah. Boxing and family. Canelo, I had to tell, when you talk about this, when he came on our show for the first time, and I know Ak, you play a significant role in getting him on different platforms, and shout out to Charlamagne. We would see him at fights as well. I had to tell Canelo that I'm Team Crawford.
You told him? Wow.
Yeah,
what was this
never coming on the show again?
No, he was. I didn't want it to be about that because I'm such a Canelo fan.
Yes.
I just was honest about that. It wasn't a big deal, and he respected it.
I was there for that, and yes, he did respect that.
Right.
You was truthful, but you gave him his flowers as well because he deserved it.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just, if you have to pick one or the other, I'm gonna. Pick Crawford, right?
Yes.
But I really enjoy sitting talking with Canelo, man. I felt like when I looked in his eyes, I just saw so much legacy, so much history, so much boxing, and the way he, and I think you guys could get credit to the way he expresses himself now. Canelo wasn't even speaking English.
Nah,
that's true.
And now he came up there and was cracking jokes the whole nine.
Oh, what?
Yeah, maybe we had a little bit to do with helping him just feel a little bit better about being speaking English, because privately, like we'd be there together. We brought a barber to his hotel room to cut his hair. He's speaking English. He's speaking English to me.
He just wasn't comfortable.
He
enough
wasn't
to put
comfortable
it out there,
saying it in public, and then all of a sudden, his first mother effer publicly. And he went viral.
And I remember literally telling him, like, yo, your English is good enough. Talk like to the public in English.
Yeah.
And that changed his career.
Yeah, changes his career. Shout out to Canelo, man. Give that man a
big shout
huge
to Canelo,
applause for just representing boxing.
And also been great to us. Like every time we needed him on the show, he came.
He came through. Yeah, man. Salute to him. It's gonna be an awesome fight. The second question I'm not gonna get into. I'm gonna talk to y'all about that off the air.
Okay.
It was something that Ak has said. I know you guys are doing something big today.
Yes.
Can people see what you're doing later on this afternoon?
Yes, absolutely. All the Smoke Fight is a big YouTube channel. Like I said, we took over Showtime's property, and now All the Smoke is in the game, and we're one of the intellectual properties on that. We call Ring Champs from 12 to 1. This is Pacific time.
Woo!
We will be live. We're going to have Kamel Moten. We're going to have, hopefully, Sway going to come through.
Yeah, we're coming at Man Horse coming at noon.
Lennox Lewis is supposed to come. Hamza Shiraz. Like, we got some people coming through. So we're going to squeeze in as many people in within that hour live to hype people up for this fight.
What time y'all want us there? We going on at 12? What time y'all want us there?
If you come at 12, you trump everybody.
Bird.
Whatever
First
time
guest
you come,
ownership.
I'm not gonna
listen,
hold
you
you
get
to
up.
that.
Lennox Lewis?
'Cause
Well, I don't know if I'm telling Lennox Lewis, get up.
You know,
Lennox Lewis, move over.
Yeah, I guess just come within that block sometime whenever you're comfortable, but I guess the earlier the better.
yeah, man. Yeah, we got such a beautiful history, and I remember coming to Vegas,
Yes.
and Barack always brings this up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I
What?
flew to Vegas because I wanted to help them get the type of talent on their platform that it deserves.
Stop. Let me tell it.
I'm not doing
This guy, we had a show and we were doing okay. This guy literally paid his own money to come to Vegas. That's a flight. Then you got to pay for a hotel. Then we got to do Radio Row. He is famous. Stephen A. Smith came over to our table to talk because he saw him, not us. So Andre Ward, everybody was coming to our table because they saw Sway. Now, we was known in the boxing world, but he transcends everything. Hip hop is global.
Right.
So this dude spent all of that money to come there. It was a huge fight that weekend.
I don't even remember the fight.
Didn't even go to the fight. I was like,
was
Sway,
it-
I'm gonna give you my ticket. He's like, no, you tripping. I'm good. I told you I came here just for you.
Just for y'all.
Wow.
I
Just
could
for
not understand that. I couldn't understand that.
Yeah.
That you came just to make our show better. Sat in Radio Row for us for hours.
Hours.
Wow.
Some of the guys he might not have known who they was.
Well, I met Caleb
But
Plant for the
see?
first time.
See what I'm saying? But he did that for us.
Us, yeah. That was big. That was big.
Wow, who does that?
Nah, man. We Horse and I, we both believe in y'all, man, and you should know that the industry isn't just all about industry. People should know that there are some amazing people.
Oh,
too.
you are a perfect example of that. All industry people aren't industry people.
That's
Yeah,
true.
man. But I'm super proud and super inspired by y'all.
Yes.
You know, we got Bridge Business.
Yep.
You know, but we
The
just
bridge ain't over,
the
baby.
bridge ain't over.
Bridge ain't over.
Absolutely.
I love it. Tell people where they can find you one more time, Ak and Barak.
Yo, Boxing with Ak on all social media platforms, but watch our show on Ring Champs, official Ring Champs on YouTube under All the Smoke Productions. Nothing but big name guests. We cooking, and we're live today.
And I'm Boxing
it.
Bully representing Ring Champs. Boxing Bully on all social media.
There you go, man. Proud of y'all. We'll be Horse. We gonna be there.
Oh, we pulling up.
Okay, I'm wearing the same thing I got on now too. Ask me to change. All right.
you know.
Hey, man, I appreciate you two coming up here, man. You guys are amazing. Continued success.
We miss you in New York, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna be there the second half of this month. So come see
Monday.
us. Oh shit, that's Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna be there Monday. All right. All
Thank
right.
you, Sway,
That's
for having us.
That's all love, man. Your son been practicing his bars?
He nasty, bro.
His son is special.
He got some work, bro. Whenever you ready.
Whenever he ready.
Right.
My fingers are dead.
Yeah, well, he ain't got to do the 5 fingers, but he got to come into the Valley of the Hyena.
Okay.
He ready. He been getting ready for 5 years.
Tell him, come on. We could do it while we're in New York for
Yeah.
the next couple of weeks, man.
doubt.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming
Thank you.
by.